Hello, I'm Robert Semrow, your host for A Moment with an Insider, and I am here with someone that I truly respect. I love their product. I want to welcome to the show Lucy Postins from The Honest Kitchen.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Well, now I want to know how you got started with The Honest Kitchen.
I actually started The Honest Kitchen in my own kitchen just over a decade ago. I was actually making my own combination of homemade meals for my Rhodesian Ridgeback to address some health problems that he was having, and I loved the results, but the kitchen ended up in a huge mess with my fresh ingredients all over the place. So I was trying to think of a way that I could still feed a whole food diet that was rich in phytonutrients and enzymes and things like that, but in a format that was more simple to prepare and less messy. And that's really where the idea for dehydration came from, just taking the moisture out so you had a nice clean dry product that you could then hydrate and turn back into fresh food when you're ready to feed.
And it really is a different approach that catches people's eye. It's not something they're used to. Let's talk about, though, the health benefits of it and the way that it's able to maintain its nutrition levels.
Yeah, I think it's really sort of common sense that whole foods are so much more healthier than highly processed foods. So we're very focused on using very gentle processing, low temperatures and no high pressure. So we're maintaining a lot of the very delicate nutrients that are present in those whole raw ingredients. And I think really, good nutrition is a cornerstone of total health. It's a very, very strong element of longevity and total health for the long term.
And I know nutrition obviously is a huge focus, but also so is education. What do pet parents really need to understand about pet nutrition? Because it's a challenge for us out there in the real world hey, here's this bag, here's that bag.
Yeah, I think it's really very overwhelming. There's such a huge amount of information on the internet and from vets and stores and things like that. I think we try and approach nutrition from the standpoint of, what's an ideal way that you would feed yourself and your human family in terms of very gently prepared foods as opposed to a lot of fast food and junk food. And then trying to help people understand the red flag ingredients, which things to avoid, a lot of fillers and byproducts and feet and feathers and things that end up in a lot of pet foods, conventional food, as is all human grade, so everything in there is actually fit for a human to consume.
Right. Well, and I think one of the big challenges that we all have is trying to understand that you do a lot of education. Your product's very simple as well. It's not just, okay, here's a chart and here's how you're going to do it. You've really made it simple to feed our pets in a much healthier way.
Yeah, we think it's pretty simple. I mean, I guess compared with conventional food, kibble and cans, it's maybe not quite as simple. There's a little bit of a process involved in terms of stirring it, but our customers actually really enjoy that. They love getting their hands into making the food and feeling like they're actually preparing a meal for their animal companion as opposed to just kind of chucking some kibble in a bowl and walking off. There's actually sort of some involvement there, which is quite rewarding, and we get lots of feedback that dogs sit there drooling and whining and spinning around in circles while they're waiting for it to be made.
What is your number one or maybe your top tips when it comes to pet nutrition?
I think avoiding byproducts is a key thing. Chemicals, methoxyquin, BHA, BHT, those are really key things to try and avoid because there's such a strong link with cancer. Other red flag ingredients, we tend to avoid wheat, corn, soy, rice and beet pulp. Most dogs don't tend to do very well on those, and we do a lot of grain-free as well. So really trying to understand what's needed for that individual animal rather than following sort of blanket rules or reading, just because your dog turned 7, now all of a sudden they're a senior dog and
right.
lowering protein and things like that. We don't really encourage people to follow those blanket rules. We want to really have people focus on their own individual animal and decide what's right for them at a certain time in their life.
Absolutely. Each pet is individual.
Yep.
You know your pet better than any packaging is going to know
right.
your pet.
Yeah.
So
and
definitely great advice.
Yeah, a lot of pets, more than people realize, actually suffer with food allergies too. And a lot of the chronic health problems, things like ear infections and skin and coat and chronic GI upset, can be directly related to the diet. So it's very important to try and establish which ingredients an individual animal can and can't tolerate.
You also have a wide variety of products available, and I understand that you're going to be adding to that share that with our audience.
Yeah, we are always working on our product pipeline. We have lots of exciting things always on their way to market. Right now we're launching a couple of new treats, Smittens for cats and Quickies, which is a training treat for dogs. And they're both based on a pure dehydrated haddock. There's no fillers or binders of any kind. And then we've also just launched a brand new instant goat milk with probiotics. So it's actually a delicious way to serve a probiotic and digestive enzymes. It's an instant powder that you just hydrate with warm water. It turns back into milk.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Wow, that is great to hear. And I think that's one of the encouraging things as a pet parent. We all want to do what's best for our pets. Sometimes you've got to search out a little bit, but then it's also, once we've identified it, where do we get it? And that's one nice thing about what you do.
Mm-hmm.
You're pretty easy to find these days.
Yeah, we are. We have a pretty strong following on Facebook, so we're able to really help customers find stores. When they ask questions on our wall, we can refer them to their local retailer. We do sell online to people that don't have a local store in their area, but we've got about 3,000 retailers nationwide.
Just a few.
Just a few, yeah.
Now, for those who want to get more great information, read some of the education that you have, and learn more about your products, where's the best place to do that?
Our website is thehonestkitchen.com, and you can get tons of information on there. We've got some videos and lots of educational articles, and then of course our store locator where people can find a local place to buy.
Lucy, thank you so much for everything that you're doing for pets. So appreciate it, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you.